Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a fun little DBD video. I've been playing this game for a hot minute, but it's about time that I see who I should main in DBD. Now, if you're not familiar with me, I'm a trickster main. I'm sorry, I know. But who's to say that I should be? If anybody knows better than I, it's the internet, of course. So, I took a couple of internet quizzes to see who I should main in DBD. Now, I should also let you know I cut one of the quizzes to see my survivor main. I'm a Leon survivor main, I'm sorry, because some of the questions just felt too weird, dude. I just didn't vibe with it. So, I cut those, and if you're gonna take this one, and you probably figured out by now I'm cutting off some of the things that's going on up here because the trending now has some interesting quizzes that are trending now. So if you take it, that's your warning there. And if you look at some of the other ones, this is still the internet with some pop up ads happening. Be careful. But with that out the way, let's see who I should be in DBD. This one opens with an interesting question. What is your gender? I identify as he, him. That would be a different question, but okay. You finally had enough and reached your breaking point. What is your reason for bloodlust? Hmm, for bloodlust. I've had enough and reached a breaking point. I don't know, baby, was I born this way? I. This is an interesting question. Why'd I say it like that? Like, oh, here we go. In the safari. This is an interesting question. What would be? I don't know what accent we're going for there, but that's what we did. What would be my reason for bloodlust? Now, as a person, I'd say it wouldn't take insanity for me to have bloodlust. Excitement. I will say in games, yeah, my friends usually know that I'm more of a bloodlusty type of player. Like once there's some blood in the water, I will send it. So it's not necessarily revenge or rage. Excuse me. Probably excitement. I think I will full send it. Sometimes the worst of times. What is your weapon of choice? Oh, ooh. Okay. Not blunt weapons. That's not too fun. Probably not bare hands either. Small blades is up there. I think we've all have had that collection of small blades before. Need to work on mine some more if I'm being honest with you. I kind of stopped doing that once funds weren't allowable for that. But we're a little bit more stable now. So maybe get back to that. I even though I know that I'm American, I'm not a fan of this one if I'm being honest with you. Uh in a horror movie, like if I will say props to Terrifier. Um if you've seen the movie, you know that's kind of a funny one. But besides that, not really a fan. Small or large? I've always thought that axe or chainsaw would be the like one to go for. Hmm. But small is kind of intimate, and that makes you another level if you can just get something off cleanly. And how small are we talking? Are we talking like giant kitchen knife on some Michael Myers type beat, or are we talking like literally something small? What is my weapon of choice? Now, this isn't. I'm not going to just make it easy for these quizzes because they're trying to get it from me. Like this one is who is your inner D by die the DBD baddie. So I don't want to throw a curveball on purpose, but I think I've always liked this appeal. So we'll go with this. What do you use to conceal your identity? A mask, of course. Oh, but my friends know me for my hat collection. I do. Uh, hoods and hats is right there, but if I need to conceal my identity, why wouldn't I just straight up disguise? Or I don't wear anything? Well, do they mean birthday suit or I don't conceal my identity? We'll go with hats. That's the one closer to home. Where does your hideout reside? Ooh, my hideout. Not too much of a lodge person. Wouldn't that be in the woods? I'm a drifter. A temple. A temple? An abandoned building. Let's go with abandoned building. Temple is interesting though. I like that. That's a new one. You don't see too much of that. You always remember your first. Who would be your first unalive? Ooh. Ooh, we're asking some scary questions now. That's one that you can definitely slip down the rabbit hole of. Man, this might get me put on a watch list. Um, there were some teachers I disliked back in the day, but I don't know about that much. An ex, no, I'm cool with most of my exes. Stranger, family member, boss, or coworker. Well, my current coworkers and whatnot are chill, so I don't have any problems there. I probably shouldn't even say anything that alludes to that, like what I would do, because man, this sounds very watch listy. Um, probably. Oh man, teacher seems kind of boring, right? Teacher seems kind of boring, but that could also be very good narrative. Stranger, you just kind of you don't build anything there. There's no clues. Nothing's there. Family member, and I don't think, huh? Family member. Would there be good narrative there? You know what? I'm sending teacher because that sounds like that could be interesting to where things went wrong. How do you dispose of the evidence? Feed it to animals, bury it, dump it in the river. No need, I'm proud of my work, or burn it. Alright, so I'll tell you, this one is probably the most effective. So we're going with that. Out of the options provided, which power would you like to have? It's weird that this one is in here because, like, if I was intangible, why am I not immortal, right? Superhuman strength. That could be kind of boring. I mean, I would always like to have teleportation, but if I just have all the time in the world to get there, I don't really care, right? I mean, I feel like this just is. I feel like most people just automatically take this one, right? And immortality versus invulnerability, I know. But, like, if you just can get there eventually, or who cares? Like, if there's no consequences, why not pick this one all the time? What location would you lure your victim to? Ooh, just do it on the spot. Kinky. Abandoned factory. I liked the idea of that. Ooh, I shouldn't say that. Man, this is interesting. What attire do you wear when searching for victims? I wonder if. Oh, okay, never mind. This was what I was thinking. Man, thinking this is how do I phrase these things? Um, well, I was wondering if dress meant like dress clothes at first before I saw suit because I was like, yeah, I'd put on a suit, got to go out there. So we're going with suit. Would you have an accomplice of any kind? No, I work alone. Oh, I read I have a furry, and I was just like, why would I want to bring a furry as an accomplice? Like, how does that up my credibility? But scaled friend, like a dog or something, that would be interesting. We need more of that. You know what? I'll write it. I'll write it. I'll bring a furry. Um, wouldn't mind a partner. Actually, wait. I've already written this. I've already written this. I guess that's a spoiler, but also not. Um, I won't tell you all which story that is, but on my second channel, if you're interested, I have written original stories. You can go through that and figure out which one this one is. Um, you know what? But I think I still like that idea. We'll keep that. Be your main special attribute. Okay, intellect, of course. Intellect, intellect. Deafness, speed, stealth, strength. I mean, like once your cover's blown, it's just done, right? Strength, yeah. Alright. I like intellect. How do you remember you're unalive? Scrapbook them, take a trophy. Newspapers take pictures. I don't bother. Ooh. Ooh. So, part of me wants to do like a Yautja kind of thing. You know what? No, we're taking a trophy. We're uh, hmm, that's the riskiest one. Scrapbook them, no. Newspapers, no. Take pictures, no. I don't bother. Nah, we're going with the thing. We'll stick it with trophy. It was my first one. We'll roll with it. How do you deal with people who get in your way? Depends on the situation, yeah. Take out anyone who stands in my way. I put them out of commission. I scared them off. Ignore them. They're not my priority. I mean, it depends, yeah. What drives you to keep unaliving? I've given into the dark side. Edgy, like it. It's all I know. Okay, it's in my blood. It's become my nature. I'm evil. Uh, this one feels the least cringe. So we're going with that one. What is your secondary lethal? A supernatural ability? Did I say? I think I said large blade, right? I mean, immortality, large blade. I I mean, if I can just, respec and get a second supernatural ability, that'd be dope. So let's go with that. Are you a vocal or mute baddie? Ooh. I'm usually a quiet type of person depending on like what's going on. I'm not too vocal. Especially if I'm going for efficiency, why give him anything? Which are you more fueled by? The love to unalive and torment, indifferent, tough to say, or something else entirely. Hate, the hatred of your victims and life itself. Ooh, ooh, the love. Hmm. You know what? I think I'd probably take a Saw route, well, the original ones, where it's just like, oh, this person kind of sucks as a person. Let's teach him a lesson. Is it ever appropriate? No, 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 no. We're not. I'm not even reading that one out loud. I, as a bad guy, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Nothing but a. I mean, I'd be wearing a mask. So, I mean, I know I said hat, but I feel like I'd wear a mask. Would Mercer or Mercer? Would mercy ever be something you consider? This is my mentality, so I should probably click it. But if I set my sights on you, then you're done. There's always bigger fish to fry, but loose ends are still a thing. That is also my mentality. Hmm. There's always the possibility of something I didn't think of. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Would you ever consider mercy? I think. I mean, there's a chance I'm just straight up wrong about something. But that would require me to trust somebody to not try to get revenge against me. And I don't have time for that. So we're going to start with no. What did we get? Ah, my result was nurse. Alright. Your insanity was your breaking point. Eventually, you couldn't take it anymore and finally lost it. That's that's something. That is something, alright. Tormented by the voices in your head and the screams in the night, your mind has contorted into something else entirely, still conscious, but not all there. It has twisted into that of a different dimension, in a matter of speaking, finally giving in and accepting the crumbling mental state which is your mind and causing you to lose it, lashing out in what resulted in unalive and unaliving. You wear a mask as a form of shielding yourself from the rest of the world. It allows you to cope with the uncertainty that is your consciousness, what little left of it there may be anyway. It helps for acceptance for what you've now become, if you're even aware at all. Large blades are what you prefer. Unlike small, sharp weapons, large blades slice efficiently and cleanly, but they also cut deep. And they also cut deep. You're likely to reside in an abandoned building, sheltered from any and all civilization. Perhaps it's a memory of who you used to be. It's unlikely you'll have visitors. However, if you do, then souls be darned. You don't bother with cleaning up, as the very idea of it is something your insanity simply disregards. Working with others isn't something you give much consideration towards. However, you just may find yourself working with someone if the circumstances are right and they happen to be the right person. Not likely, but still possible. You carry a supernatural type of speed within you. When channeled, you can and will always manage to find your prey no matter where they've run to or where they're hiding. No matter how far they've gotten, you'll always catch up to them. Mercy simply isn't something your insanity will allow. Perhaps, if there was a fragment of your past self that urged you otherwise, but highly unlikely. Insanity is too unstable to try and stabilize. Seldom times you may find yourself in a calm state, not even realizing it, and able to cope better than most times. Still, insanity always draws you back, and you continue along your way. When you look in the mirror, all you see is another face. Who you may have been is gone forever, and the thought doesn't even dwell on you. It's hard to discern what's real anymore, but one thing's for sure, unaliving is real and is what satiates you. Whether it be for one reason or another, this is who you've become. That that was that. Um, yeah, I don't see that one, but hey, that they had a chance. Going on to the next one. Which DBD baddie you should main? First off, who do you main? I feel like that's just straight up cheating. I feel like I feel like you can't just be like, all right, who should you main? Who do you main? All right. Oh, we're starting off poor. They've said Scream instead of Ghostface and pure. Okay. All right. So, well, we picked three at max. All right. Let's give them the max. Let's see what we got cooking. We'll put Tricky. We'll put Nemesis, and out of the rest, probably Slinger. I know I said Pyramid Head, but I kind of blanked on Slinger, if I'm being honest with you. I definitely played Slinger more than Pyramid Head ever. Um, wait. How do I show all? There we go. Pick your favorite color, purple. Which baddie out of these four do you think takes the most skill? The most skill? Well, I can use Slinger, so that's not the answer. The most I've always said it's probably Blight or Billy. People don't give Blight enough credit. I know I understand why, but not to say, yeah, that's a different rabbit hole I won't talk about right now. Which baddie out of these six would you say takes nowhere hardly any? I've always hated Huntress because it's not as hard as people make it out to be. Which type of survivors do you hate the most? Toxic teabaggers, people that loop constantly, people who just sneak around, gen rushers, people who leave the game after you hook them or down them, people who blind you all the time. Pick two at most. Okay, I can tell you it's not loop constantly. I don't care. Usually I don't get this enough to care, but I can't say that aggravates me. I guess I skipped this one because I don't know. It's 50-50. Sometimes I'm just like, just go. I don't know. It doesn't. Do I hate them? No, I don't hate them. It's just weird. Gen rushers. If you leave the game, I don't. And sometimes it can ruin my videos. So probably this one. Yeah, probably those two. What is my zodiac sign? I'm an Aries. What do you do when you're going against annoying survivors? Okay, I don't camp them. I don't leave. I don't just give up. Not that. Sure, let's go with that. I just try my best. I don't really. It's not that deep, yeah. I'll think of a type of revenge I could get. Still not that deep. I mean, like if the situation calls for it, then they're getting slugged, or if they're being like stupid, then I will punish their mistakes and like tunnel if they're just being goofy in front of me. But if they're just like annoying, I don't. It's not that deep. I just okay. Favorite. What is your favorite free baddie? That should say who, but okay. Um, favorite free. I'll go with the result of my last one. Nurse. Who do you prefer out of these four? Okay. Duh. We'll use Tricky. Which bad guy out of these would you play? Uh, would I play? Not these two. So between Spirit and Legion, I've played more Legion, but that's only because I don't always feel like actually trying to listen as tough what Spirit requires me to do. But I do like Spirit. And Legion just gets annoying sometimes, though. We'll go with Legion. I've played more. What do you hate the most happening to you? Man, people care about these things, huh? Um, old DS was annoying. And I was a trickster main, so Dead Hard really didn't mean much to me. I kind of just got to throw through the iframes, and then they got connected anyway. Um, and current Dead Hard, I just go, oh, good one, because they get it off. I don't really, doesn't really do much. Getting stunned, it can be annoying when I get vacuum palleted. If this is something you hate the most, then that's a you problem. Like, you need to not be getting looped over and over. Blinded, I used to really hate that when I started the game because it was just like, well, just look away. It's like that's just not always possible. Um, which now with background player it really isn't, but it also isn't the worst thing ever. I guess getting stunned out of the four. How many friends do you have online? Online? And 0 to 10 means I'm lonely, bro. I touch grass. What? Online? How many online friends do I have? I guess this one. Do you hate playing the most out of these? Ooh, who do I hate playing the most out of these? This is just gonna hurt me. Um, Nurse, Spirit, Billy, Blight, Huntress. Not going through this entire list. Mm, I think I do hate playing Nurse the most out of everybody. How often do you vault as a bad guy? Yeah, only here and there. Do your friends play Survivor or bad guy more? Well, let me think of a tally. 2, 2, 3. I think it's an even split. Uh oh. I don't know why this is in here because you can't with this side. And I mean, I traditionally don't, but that doesn't. No, I think most of my friends are Survivor mains. So let's click that one. So I should be maining demo. Alright, I guess I gotta get on that. You all heard it here first. I need to be maining demo. If you all see some more demo videos, I think I have like a solid maybe 3 over these years on the channel. I I didn't watch Stranger Things, but hey, I mean I do know Demogorgons from D&D, so I guess that's a start. Next. This is the one that I saved for last because this is the Darva, who is your ideal bad guy quiz that has been around for a while, and I don't know if it's just him or a team of people. I believe it's a team of people have crafted this, and this is the one that probably I would recommend. I remember doing it like a while back when I was first getting into the game just to see. I don't remember who I got though. But, let's see what is cooking up over here. I would prefer a bad guy that is top tier, as strong as possible. I know my answers have changed since I last took this. I don't want a top tier. And I used to go for lower tier because that meant like I was really saucing on people. But like now that I've played a while, one, I don't care nearly as much about that because people don't care. They call everything busted. Like, again, I've been a trickster main for a while, and he's been through several phases where he's just been utter crap. But of course, oh, he's trickster. So I think now I'd rather take mid tier. I would prefer a bad guy that plays and feels like a regular baddie with mostly average movement speed and abilities. The type of baddie that is good to learn the basics with or apply them if you've already learned them. Has their own unique playstyle, typically with a different movement speed and abilities that require specific skills. The type of bad guy that doesn't share mechanics with the rest and must be learnt from scratch. Combines common bad guy characteristics with some unique elements. The type of bad guy that is accessible if you know the basics, but that still requires practice to master. That's a good question. I know old me said unique playstyle. And I think I. Do I still feel that way? Hmm. Hmm. I think I. I want to click this because I'm curious. Like there aren't many where you just say they're so unique that you have to be I mean, that'd be like probably like Billy, Blight, Nurse, like something where you actually have to just straight up do things different. Maybe Huntress and like the ranged ones fall into that, but with a different movement speed. They do have a different movement. Like I'm thinking like Hag, where things are just straight up completely different. And that's not typically what I want. I want to I think I like a good mix. I think I want to be able to demonstrate expertise with what they do, but also how I am. I do understand I don't mind either way is there, but I think just for fun's sake, let's go with common. I prefer a bad guy that is easy for a beginner to pick up and learn, has tons of depth, but is very hard to learn. I don't mind either. Hmm. It's easy for a beginner to pick up and learn. I know that's what people think about Trickster, and then they get rolled for like a while. Or at least that's how he was. I gotta admit, I still have to feel out current Trickster to tell you how that is now. Um, how the beginner experience is now. Hmm. You know what? I think I truly don't mind either way. So let's go with this. I prefer a bad guy that has a singular mechanic that I can focus on getting better at, has multiple abilities in their repertoire for me to use and learn. I don't mind either way. I like the idea of several, so we're going to go with that. Has a huge. I would prefer a bad guy that has a huge skill ceiling, and mastering them takes tons of time and practice. Has a reasonable skill ceiling, complex but not too complex. Has a lower skill ceiling, and is relatively easy to master quickly, or you don't mind. Now I know if I say this one, people will be like, "But you don't like playing Singularity." I don't. That's a lot of work for nothing. I do like Cenobite. I do like Xenomorph. I do like the idea of. See, this is the thing. I do like the idea of being able to demonstrate what you know, like slingers that know every little hole on maps or whatever, and actually get the timing down to shoot them. But I don't ever know if those shots, like trick shots and whatnot, ever are the most efficient thing to do. So I don't care that much. So I guess this is more me. I prefer a bad guy that is mechanically demanding, requiring precise timing and inputs, or reliant on experience rather than quick reflexes and perfect execution. I like a mix of both, really. Ooh. People like watching this one and fail to appreciate this one. Hmm. I like both, but I guess that would only be I don't mind either way here. No, I like getting shots off. I do like getting shots off. So I think. Ah. Yeah, I like this better than, like, setting things up and whatnot. So. Let's go with this. I prefer a bad guy that has add ons that are truly powerful and transformative that just enhances basic abilities a little. Yeah, I don't really, if I'm being honest, I really don't like add ons too much. Odd to say, I know, but when you're making content and talking about, like, oh, this is what you can do repeatedly, it's much different to show somebody when your ability comes back in like 10 seconds quicker versus you can throw on this add-on and win the game, right? So I tend to like just basic tweaks a little bit more. When it comes to teachables, I do not care. Um, is that true? I prefer somebody that unlocks powerful teachables. Yeah, I don't really care about their power level, but I also don't want them to be complete dog water because the way I do things is like you have to use at least one teachable within the build so that people can understand or whatever. So I don't want them to be too dog water, but I don't also want them to be powerful either. So I guess I don't care. My main preferred playstyle is an aggressive one, using my power to end chases, several abilities together to build up pressure, using stealth, setting up traps and area control, ranged attacks. I don't have a preference. Okay, so first and foremost, it's not trap and area control. I thought it would be, but it's actually not. Um, Using several abilities together to build up pressure is what I would like. It's preferred. I am aggressive though. Like I do not enjoy hit and run or long con things. I do want to get a chase down and over with and get to the next one. Stealth. I don't really play too many stealth bad guys now that I think about it. Maybe I should change that. And ranged. I do like ranged because it's a good mix up, and it usually leads to ending the chases quicker. Who else do I like? I like Oni. I did say Cenobite. Which one is more true for me? One, two, or three? Hmm. Aggressive. Is there ever a time where I'm not too aggressive when playing? I guess I have to say this, after, especially after the bloodlust question. Secondary preferred. Perfect. Secondary, we go with range. There's not too many of these in the game, unfortunately. Wow. All right. All right. All right. All right. So, the results, the first one, Billy. Billy, I can't. I can't use Billy. I'm not a good Billy. He's not for me. That's too fast. It's too everything. Billy's not for me. But we did get Trickster as the second one, and I do also like Dread. So, hey, I gotta give props. It might not be the first, but the second, and I'm assuming with, like being able to toggle license that includes DLC, like the priority, I'm assuming would be on who you don't have to buy. So, I I give credit. The Darva quiz has been the closest one so far. All right, you got it. Trickster, Dreads, and you got it. Wow, wow. And I'd argue Dreads and Zeno are like close to one another, so maybe not too harshly. But yeah, let's see what else we got in this list. Nemesis, Zeno's down here. Interesting. And Knight's down here. Interesting. All right, we got it. Almost on the spot. So yeah. All right. I'm thoroughly impressed. So, if anybody's ever wondered, should you take the quiz to see? I'd say you should. That was pretty impressive. Not gonna lie. I didn't expect that. Wow. And where's Huntress? Yeah, Huntress is even further down than. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. And we're back. Were you as surprised by the results as I was? Because I really thought I was either better or worse at sending off internet quizzes, and I also figured some of them would be better at figuring out some of the answers. I don't know. It was a weird one. If you go to take any of these, let me know what you get, or just straight up tell me who your main is. Like, like we see is possible. But yeah, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.